Welcome back to Comedy or Worse.
Or Worse.
I'm here with
Erik Thornquist.
Yay. Oh yeah. Turn on the lights. Okay.
This
Good
is.
start.
No, I'm a really pasty guy, so it's. I
There we go.
glow in the dark. It's okay.
So how's everything going today?
Good, brother. Very good.
Sweet.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, every time someone says thank you ahead of time, I'm like, oh, I hope it goes good.
Do people just come in here and like thanks?
No, just in general. Sometimes I'm like, people are saying thank you before something happens. It's like, oh.
Well, I've talked to you for like 30 seconds at a time.
Sure.
Basically, it's like that, checking in. That's some days that's as far as we get.
Yeah, for sure.
So no, this is cool. Anytime we get a chance to talk about something we love, I'm down.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
This is what we're here for.
Yeah.
So, do you use a stage name?
Mine? My own? No, I haven't.
Okay.
So somebody introduced me once as Stone Cold Steve Austin, and that's like, oh, that's ridiculous, dude.
Right.
You know, me is me.
Sweet.
Oh.
Cool. So, how did you get into comedy?
Originally, I did shows when I was like 19 in San Francisco with a long ass lineup, and then didn't do it for a long time, and then was in Taiwan, and I did it in Taiwan a few times at the back of a bookstore, which was cool. But then I fell into a group. I fell in with a guy named John Cantu, I met him online, who I found out later was like a god of the San Francisco comedy scene.
Okay.
So I'm in an online writer's room with people who wrote for like the Academy Awards, and it was an education, you know. But John was really supportive, good dude, great guy, brought people together. And then I got back into comedy a little bit when I was in Arkansas, and then I really got into it when I was overseas. So I started in Abu Dhabi and Dubai.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sweet.
That's too long an answer.
No, there's no too long of answers.
We got to fill time. This is a podcast. Comedy or long. Yeah.
You know. So, like, what is your writing process?
That's a good question. It depends what I'm writing, though. If I'm writing jokes for, like, based on the news, then I just try to come up with topic, angle, and as many different ways in as possible. You know, and it really depends who the audience is. If I'm writing for myself, I try to write stuff that, as much as I can, I try to write stuff that comes from my life, because that's stuff that nobody else can actually do. You know, like you could hand me your pretzel joke and it wouldn't work because I don't have that sensibility. Sure. I want to write jokes, and if I hand them to you, it would be strange.
Right. Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, how do you, when you sit down and write, when you write, how do you do it?
I just write randomly.
You don't have a...
No, just whatever comes to me. I mean, there's been a few times where I've really tried to, like, be disciplined. Okay, I'm going to write.
Yeah, well, I guess,
It's
so...
not easy.
Yeah.
A lot of that stuff doesn't work.
And a lot of it comes out crap. Yeah. But the crap hopefully leads to something else. Like, so you don't try to aim it in any way?
No, I mean, the goals are to just write more and, have another, really good joke. Like, say, like, as good as the pretzel joke, It's like, that's the goal. But finding that, I don't know. It's not easy.
Yeah. Well, you get a chance to see a lot of comedy. Does that help?
Yeah. Like, there's just times where people will just say a word or two, and I'm like, oh, okay. It's like
trigger. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, like the cross-dressing joke, and someone just said something. They didn't say they were a cross-dresser. They just said something cross-dresser, and it was a joke, and it was fine. And then I'm like, oh, what would I do for that? So I just made it into a pun,
Yeah, and sometimes I do that. Someone else, you watch someone do a joke, and you're thinking, okay, if I take that joke and make it mine, how would I do it? To me, it's fun.
Yeah, it's just the premise of it.
Yeah, you're not stealing a joke. It's just the premise.
Exactly. Totally making it your own.
Yeah.
Let's see. So have you ever? I guess you've traveled to do comedy, right?
Yeah, I mean, so when we were, my buddy and I, John, we were both in Abu Dhabi. It was like 2015. So we had both done some comedy other places, but we realized there's nothing in the city where we lived. It's a Muslim country, so we knew that would be an issue. But then we basically started producing shows without ever having done it. We just thought back to all the shows we've been on. What are the things we liked? So we're going to do that. And what are the things that sucked? We're not going to do that. It was that scientific.
Sure.
And then a lot of beers later, we started producing shows under the name Yalla Laughs in 2015. So we did it in Abu Dhabi first, and then in Dubai we did private shows and stuff. But
nice.
Yeah, it was good.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So do you have a hobby or passion that's not related to comedy?
Going to the ocean, watching these guys lose game after game after game, because John Fisher, who owns the A's, you suck, and I will never ever shop at Gap because your swindle is going to be exposed by Vegas, West Sacramento, and it's already been exposed by Oakland. But I still love the A's. So I watched these guys. I watched them lose 3 straight here.
Yeah.
It's our donation to the Friar Playoff Fund. So I do that. I'm lucky. I got from traveling. I have friends, so I got friends hit me up from all over the place. The good thing is being in the Middle East, I got a chance to do shows like in Oman. I went to Spain. I did, I was on vacation, but I did a show. It's cool. I like the idea of going somewhere, walking into a place that's not yours, looking around, feeling out the vibe, and trying to make them laugh.
Yeah.
But come on, you know this because you get around me here more than I do. I see you popping up all over the place.
All right. Well, thanks. I'll try my best.
Yeah.
So do you wish you started comedy earlier?
Yeah, that's a good question. You can't change it. But I guess what I would say is I should have never stopped for any reason. Right. If life's going to shit, okay, life goes to shit. Because I started and stopped twice. I was writing for most of that time in one form or another. But yeah, you just got to keep doing it. It's right. Like if you're going to turn pro, and that's not really like meaning you're going to be like a professional headliner. If you're going to treat it like it's a job, you got to just keep doing it under any circumstance.
Right. Absolutely.
I know that now, but now I'm, it's. I wish I would have done it when I was 19.
Sure.
Yeah, so I just try to encourage anybody who's going up that I can see is kind of like, you can tell they care. You can tell there's some material there. There's a spark. But you can tell they're not quite sure about what they're doing.
Sure.
So like from I can see it from producing shows for 7 years. It's like, no, I got to find even small ways to kind of give that person a little boost, a little nod, and a little pick me up to encourage them to just keep doing it the right way, or at least not do it the way I did it.
Sure. Makes sense.
Yeah.
So, do you have any goals for comedy right now?
I do, but I don't want to say it out loud because it'll jinx it.
Okay.
I've seen you get up. Like, do you want to have like a 30-minute special when you do?
I want to try everything. So yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I want to be able to. I want the podcast to succeed. I want it to do good in comedy. I want my merch to sell, and they all kind of hopefully feed on each other.
All right, we got to talk about the merch. I got questions because before.
So do you have merch? First of all,
do I have merch? No, I don't have merch. So I'll talk about your merch because this is what this is about. So the first time I saw you was in this room, I think.
Okay.
And you introduced the merch before you introduced the set.
Really?
Or something. So like, how is the merch doing? Why? Because I've seen guys like with merch who are like traveling headline acts,
Right.
you know. But the merch is hilarious. But what gave you the idea to like do it?
Well, I mean, like back in the early 2000s, like there, like the T-shirt a day. There was websites where you would go and they would sell one T-shirt a day.
Uh-huh.
It would usually like awesome, and lots of people would buy it.
Mm-hmm.
And back then, I was like, oh yeah, I want to do that. I could come up with something.
Yeah.
But I was really busy in college also, and so I submitted a few things and nothing ever took off.
Yeah.
And there was a way to even back then there was a way to like do it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Just like print on demand.
Yeah, I had a buddy who could screen print.
Yeah.
In his like mom's kitchen.
Uh,
Okay, and so it started there.
So for a long time, there's a lot of artists and I like to support other people, but ultimately the goal is to like just wear my own merch all the time. I don't like to wear Nike or whatever.
Now I'm embarrassed wearing the Oakland A's jersey.
Well,
I'm come to cover this up now. I feel violated. Just.
Well, I mean, you're feeding the beasts, right? Like,
Yeah, I guess I am. Because right now there's a kid in the sweatshop somewhere. It's like, fuck you,
Well, I mean, like it helps if no one bought any baseball merch. Then that would really make it hard for them.
Yeah.
To do baseball at the level that they're doing it.
Does it count that I'm wearing Reggie Jackson from like the 72 A's? No, it doesn't matter. It's all. Yeah, it's like in a creator economy, the best thing to do is create. And that's a way of creating, right?
Right, yeah. Like I never identified with any brand.
Yeah, you don't strike me as a brand guy. Like I'm about.
Well, this is like a PlayStation shirt, but
yeah, but like I'm from overseas. And everybody's wearing like Balenciaga and all kinds of brands. It's like you all you're doing is you're helping somebody in a far, far away land charge $62 for a T-shirt.
Right.
Why not make your own? It's true.
Yeah, exactly.
So it does make sense to me, like logically, totally.
Yeah, and it's not like I think that it's ever going to do good. I'm just trying it.
Okay.
Like at the employee show, just not that long ago, last Wednesday.
Yeah.
Like, I wore a shirt that said, it's one of my shirts that says, please buy this shirt off me, I need the money. And someone made a comment about it, and I'm like, "Oh, you want to buy this one? Okay, well it's $100." And no one. No. And I said, take up a collection or something.
It has my real sweat on it. Does that not add to the value?
Yeah, I should have done that. But anyway, after that show, I don't think it was the same guy. It's because that guy apologized. I'm like, no, it was all good because I made it funny.
Yeah, why? Yeah, I guess it's a nice Canadian thing to do, to apologize. But it's what's even better is if you buy the shirt, But
then, I think this Australian guy said, does anybody have any merch? I'm like, well, yeah, I do.
Mm-hmm.
It was a different shirt, but I sold him. It says, I finally found the best thing on the internet, and then it has a QR code that goes to my LinkedIn. Or Linktree, not LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get them mixed
up. No, you're doing better than Biden and Trump. It's okay.
But that's donation based, so you gave me $20. It cost me $5 to make it, and it's a little less than $5.
And it's clever shit. You know, it's like you're having fun with it.
Yeah. So you just never know when someone's going to buy something. So
Well, can I
selling it all the time?
Well, you have shirts, you have hoodies. What else do you have?
Shoes.
You have shoes? I thought only.
Yeah, I got shoes on. I got the shoes right here. These are the slip-on pretzel shoes.
Comedy or worse pretzel shoes right here. Smells like pretzel. Check it out. There's a little barnacle salt on the sides. It's legit. Damn. Okay.
And these are the slip-ons. I got tennis shoes. You know, the goal is just to just keep making. These are all print on demand, so it doesn't cost me anything.
Yeah, which is
unless
cool.
I make it.
Well, and you have to make like one to walk around and so people can see it.
Exactly.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, that's fun.
Because it's hard because I watch some of my creative friends over the years. I don't want to say sell out because you're in comedy or the arts to make a living. That's what you're trying to do, right?
Absolutely.
But I watch them kind of give themselves to somebody else's dream really fast. Or like they think, oh, I got a job and I don't have, I can be secure in my artistic career. And I'm thinking to myself, whoa, did you really want to work for so-and-so? Or do you really want to, originally when we talked, you really had ideas 1, 2, 3. Working for so-and-so is far, far away from those things.
Sure.
So it's, in the end, it's better to do this, man.
Yeah. It's just, if you're not selling anything, then you have to do other stuff in the meantime.
Yeah, but if it's print on demand, then you can just sit and wait until somebody wants something and then press it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the idea. But I'm saying to make money, I'm not relying on this.
Yeah. Well, you work here, right?
Yeah.
Because you guys have pretty good. I don't know all the comics who work here because I'm in limited circulation. Depends. I only go to a couple shows and I just keep hitting those shows.
Sure.
But you're surrounded by people who are in it for the right reasons. You're surrounded by funny people. That's cool, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's great.
It helps. I mean, it helps you as a comic, but also it gives you, at least you're living that kind of life.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, I have comedy too at work, but I got to be quiet about it until I go on stage and I can talk about it.
Yeah. So, what is your favorite joke right now?
Oh man, like by anybody?
Sure, absolutely.
The one about right now, the one made me laugh is the Kill Tony joke, where he's talking about if all the kings. He's like, I can't remember the joke. I wish I could because I don't want to fuck this up. Giancarlo Scoresi had a joke about Biden. His thing saying that Biden was senile and Biden's having problems. He's like, I don't think Biden's having problems. He's never missed a payment to Israel. Those are the kind of jokes I gravitate towards, even those aren't the jokes that I usually tell on stage.
Sure.
I told one when I was in Abu Dhabi, when I was on vacation, that was not well received because the joke ends up with a punchline that's at the locals. They don't like that. But it fit the waiver that I had to sign to not talk about it X, Y, Z. So you can't get mad at me for that one. But I knew they wouldn't laugh. Sure. I guess the joke I like the most is the joke I tell that gets laughs. Man, right? That's always my favorite joke. Yeah. So, yeah, go ahead.
Do you have a favorite place to do comedy right now?
There are tons here, man, and I didn't realize it before I moved here. Jazzy Wishbone's a good place for trying stuff out. Great little room. Kyle Dean's kind of worked on that, and it's growing. U31 is cool. That little back room because we had in Abu Dhabi, we had a setup that was kind of like that. So it's like just a small little backyard thing, which is always packed now. I like ACC just because it's ACC. Yeah. It's. I'm trying to think of places that the galley is a zoo, and it's run like a zoo, which makes me like it. Like because I'm kind of a straight-laced guy and I tell a lot of stories in my life, but I also enjoy walking into. I enjoy being Reggie Miller. I started to use a basketball analogy. I enjoy being Reggie Miller walking into the garden, walking into the enemy territory, and finding a way to succeed.
Sure.
You know, but there are a lot of good rooms. This room was cool when it was alive.
Yeah, the brick room.
Yeah, like for you, what rooms do you like? You've seen more of them than I have, man. San Diego. What rooms work for you?
American Comedy Company is definitely good. I mean, I'm biased. I like Quantum Brewing.
Yeah, of course. Which is because, okay, what does a room have to have, right? You got to have it. It's got to be arranged rectangular or like you're not a deep room, so everything is close to stage.
Right.
You got to have no pillars, clear sight lines,
Right.
decent lighting. You got to have good sound system. Hopefully, a low ceiling so that keeps that, and so the laughs bounce off the walls and keeps that energy tight.
Yeah.
And Quantum has that.
Yeah,
Plus the bartender's cool as shit. It helps. How many shows have you produced where you're working with people who really don't want you to be there?
Well, those don't last long.
Yeah, exactly. So it's cool to have like our show in LC is good. The room is kind of like rectangular, so we got to figure that out because right now we have the mic at one end, but the staff is great. It's a neighborhood show, so people who go there want to go. They want to hang out, and that's all you really want. You want that good vibe, that good feeling, and so the comics come in and they feel like, yeah, this is a place where I feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And then they can give their best performance. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Let's see. So, what was your family life growing up?
Oh, dude, you're professional. What is this?
You gotta list the question.
Look at this. This is like hot wings, but no hot wings, and Sprouts coconut water. That's right. Sprouts did not pay me for that. What was my family like? I grew up watching. My dad would watch Carlin and Pryor, and my uncle was like Bill Murray funny. And we would do stuff to make grandma come out of the kitchen and scream, which was always a good sign, you know. But I was really lucky in that my family would laugh at all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And so that became like an acceptable way to communicate. My grandmother would she would actually let me. She didn't make me. I wanted to. She would watch Johnny Carson. This shows you how old I am. She'd watch Johnny Carson. She'd watch for the opening monologue and the comedian. Turn it off, switch channels, and we'd watch either Benny Hill or Monty Python's Flying Circus. Yeah. And growing up, I had no idea. To me, that was normal. Right? I mean, so to watch that, and then when I was 12, I got a Betamax tape, a beta tape of Blazing Saddles on my birthday, and I wore that shit out. Like there's still like tons of lines that my buddy and I can quote back and forth. Now for my next impression, Jesse Owens, like Dom DeLuise going, watch, just all those things. I grew up with that, and then playground insults. you roasting your friends roasting you. Yeah. Like you grew up watching. Did you grow up watching a lot of TV, watching a lot of comedy?
Not so much. Here and there. Yeah.
Not a lot.
Yeah, I watched all kinds of stuff, but also played video games. I played outside.
Yeah.
So there was only. Sometimes I would be like encouraged to go outside or something.
Get out of here! Like sometimes my mom, I think she just had it with us. She's just like, okay, go outside, and when the street lamps come on, that's when I want to see you. That's.
Right, exactly.
But we are from that generation when you could do that and it was totally acceptable.
Yeah.
Nowadays it's kind of weird. Like you wouldn't send your kids outside.
Right, but you have devices that it's easier to track
right.
them too. So
Yeah.
It's like it's almost should be reversed.
Yeah, and like when my daughter was small, like we lived. When she was really small, we lived all over the place. Like I worked in Japan, in the States, and then Taiwan, and so we went to. Like we used to go to Chiang Kai-shek military school outside for some reason, and I don't know why. They had a little kids playing area outside this military academy. So I would take her there on the scooter in Taiwan, and I called it the Chiang Kai-shek Kids Club. Because, well, all Generalissimos have to have a kids club nearby. And just to get her outside. Because you gotta, I think part of it is we live in a society where we just sit inside four walls all the time. We're looking at screens. So one good thing is comedy is a way to get away from that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, one of the goals of the podcast is to encourage people to go see more live comedy.
Yeah, you should see live comedy. You should go to Tommy Lucero has a show tonight. You have shows on Thursday and Friday. Jazzy Wishbone. This won't air in time. I'm gonna try anyway. No, the host says no.
It's a few weeks.
Well, yeah, these are recurring shows, so it's stuff anybody can go see. And come on, for every one I mentioned, I'm missing 10.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's new shows all the time.
Yeah.
Just went to Bella's show.
Yeah.
Last night.
How was that? It was good.
Yeah.
Is that Camels?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good little bar. There's like a lot of people there, really.
That's cool. I mean, because those small shows, that's like, it's weird because like those small shows where you cut your teeth, that's where people get good. Like if Bella's show is full and then LC, our show is full, and then the Wishbone is full, that's what gives people the confidence to get better. And then later on when you see them, they're gonna be like fully formed. Yeah. So to speak, and people don't realize, no, it's those other little shows that led to that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, one guy said that he saw me before American Comedy Company. I'm like, oh, cool.
Hey! Did you buy the merch?
Yeah, I'm trying to like pass out flyers if after a show, especially like right now, after like American Comedy Company, then someone I get up and then people see me outside after the show and they go and I can see that they recognize me and they'll say something. Here, you want a flyer?
Do that. I mean, the thing about ACC that is I haven't done Comedy Store La Jolla because it's on a night when I usually have to work. That's because that's the glamorous life I have right now, But like for ACC, you get 3 minutes, so it's like, all right, I gotta bam, 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 and get out of there. Yeah. Which is good too. The good thing is like one thing about San Diego is that, like I guess from being overseas, there's a lot of restrictions on what we could say. Sure. And like I could show you the waiver I had to sign before the last show in Abu Dhabi. It was ridiculous. We had that written into our contract when we ran shows, so like we would take the shit for it. So comedians don't have to worry about it. We did that behind the scenes. Now they're directly saying you cannot do these things. Oh, and by the way, don't mention this, this, and this. To come back here where you can say whatever you want as long as it's funny is beautiful. But that's okay.
I said don't disturb me. Fuck you.
Don't.
I put it on Do Not Disturb and the alarm still goes off.
I have an iPhone too. I don't know what to tell you.
That's annoying.
You can't stop them.
It doesn't make any sense.
Steve Jobs!
It doesn't make any sense. Get your shit together. Do Not Disturb means don't turn the alarm on. what alarm was it anyway?
Yeah.
Jesus.
In Italian, it's no disturbo, son of a bitch. I don't know.
Oh, this makes it harder. Now I gotta put 2 files together.
Well, how do you edit?
CapCut on PC.
Okay.
It's pretty easy usually.
Yeah, you can just like...
It's a little bit harder with 2 files. But I'll make it through it. No problem.
Just put a silly transition for like 10 seconds and then just... This transition is courtesy of the iPhone 12 or 13 or whatever it is.
Yeah. So, let's see. What's the biggest audience you perform for?
Wow. I gotta think about it. I haven't had any big shows. Like, I guess Dubai 400.
Wow.
You know.
That's awesome.
It was a cool show that was produced as best they could, but we were 90 minutes late, which hurt. And I was on the first set, which means the audience is still, they're irate, but they're not flat out angry. And I just drew the first set, and that was great, because after the break, in the second set, after the show started 9 minutes late, the audience turned on every comedian. It's not the comedian's fault, you know. Biggest show, I produced one that had about 150, 200 people, which that was good. You know, as long as the comedians get a chance to get up there and I get a chance to get up there and tell my silly jokes, it's beautiful. You know, I mean, the audience is there. They leave the house to laugh. If you get a packed room, that's exactly what you want. That's what this room was like back when the brick room was a thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely.
Are they going to bring it back?
I don't know. We have to make enough money to not go broke doing the open mic. Yeah.
Gotcha. Is it bad? Well,
I mean, we have to make enough money for the shows to cover the cost if the open mics don't make money.
Gotcha.
So I guess we're not there yet.
Gotcha.
Or maybe he's saving up money. So I don't know. He doesn't tell me everything.
Yeah, of course. I mean, but from trying to produce shows and losing my ass many times, I know it's a balance you got to walk, right? Because you want to be able to offer everything, but at the same time, this is a business.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So do you do any other type of art?
Yeah, I mean, right, mostly. That's the thing I do. Like, my wife is a singer, and she's a good one. So we talk about art, and our circle is, we have artists and writers and singers and everybody. So we're kind of all performers in one way or another. And come on, we look at life in a sense we are totally. You know, you have to find the lane that works for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Cool. So where did you grow up?
Grew up, born in Portland, Oregon, but grew up like East Bay, San Francisco.
Okay.
So I'm called East Bay trash. So if you're across the bay, like on the Oakland side, which is soon to be the West Sacramento side and going to be the Las Vegas side, you are lesser. That's just how it is. And then, so I grew up suburban San Francisco, and then by a twist of fate, I ended up moving to the Sierra Nevadas, up in the mountains. And I was a city kid, so to be up in the mountains where all of a sudden I'm in a class of like 51 people was strange. The only thing that really saved me is I could tell jokes. I could make people laugh.
Right.
You know, so that was kind of my way in, my way to meet people. It's probably the first time that I actually really thought about how valuable it is to make someone laugh.
Yeah.
You know, because we used to play Make Me Laugh or Die out in front of my house when I was little. But now, to get someone to talk to you, okay, in a town where you know nobody, well, if you can make them laugh a little bit, then all of a sudden, you know, it breaks the ice.
Yeah.
So I think being decently funny, you know, come on, let's be honest, there are thousands and thousands of people funnier than I am. Like, I get a chance to watch them whenever I go out. But if you're decently funny, it makes your life better.
Yeah.
You know.
Definitely.
So I got a lot of detentions as a kid. That's how I knew it was funny.
I never.
Never?
I never pushed it that far. A few times they would like, oh, you want to go to the office or no.
Really? Because
I didn't like negative attention.
Really? Well, I didn't like. Okay, I wasn't trying for it, but like I was in typing class in high school, and for some reason there was a Sherry Slayton. I hope you're watching. Sherry Slayton was a typing teacher back when we had typing as a class, which is an amazing thought. And she comes up to me and she says, "Did you just say cocksucker?" Like out of nowhere. I looked at my friends and went, "What?" I'm like, and immediately I thought, look, I didn't say cocksucker, but you just said cocksucker, and you just said it first. Get out of here! And I got sent to the vice principal's office, and the vice principal, he was laughing as I relayed the story to him, and they called my mom, and I thought for sure I'm dead, like because my mom, my dad had a policy. This is why I was scared, because their policy was, we better not get a phone call from the school. And my mom comes in, and the vice principal is trying to tell her the story, and he starts laughing when he's telling her his story. And my mom's like, "What?" And then I saw my mom break, like the steel eyes kind of went, like she started, you know, tearing up a little bit in a good way. And I'm like, "Oh, thank God, I'm not gonna get beat not get belted, you know, when I get home." But man, I didn't want negative tension. But I just want to make people laugh.
Right.
But I realized, you know, for school, it's hard because school's job is to educate, but it's also to make you ready for society.
Right.
Doesn't society involve laughter?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, were you quiet? Were you quiet when you were in school?
No, I'm not too. I don't know. Just a nerdy kid, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something would just catch me, like somebody would say or something would happen that I thought was funny. I would make a quip.
Yeah.
And then, you know, maybe it makes people laugh. And then if I kept going, then the teacher would be like, "Okay, settle down," you know.
Yeah, because I guess when I see you, a lot of the time you're in producer mode.
Sure.
No, I have producer mode too. I mean, it's like I'm here. It is me, and I'm here, but I'm really here to make sure that all you guys have a good show.
Yeah.
You know, so you're kind of like more, I got to keep this train on the track.
Yeah.
You know, but I guess, yeah, man, there was always comedy around. Watching my uncle wind up my grandmother, his mom, was endless joy. Because he would come at her from all angles. Not ruthless, not directly, but he was sly.
Yeah.
You know, and I just remember that kind of stuff and watching. So I guess if I can make someone laugh in a similar way, then I'm happy.
Yeah.
You know.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So do you ever do like a character on stage?
I've tried, but they gave us a TV show in university, then they threw us off. Because of the president of the school, hopefully this will be edited, the president of the school, and no editing, no way. So the president of the school was rumored to favor young men.
Okay.
So we had a sketch on our show where there was the president behind the desk giving what was the State of the Union address for the school. And then at the very end of that clip, you see the president get up and leave the chair, and then you see a little boy run out from under the desk.
All right.
Nope, gone. The show's over. I guess that kind of, I just look for that kind of humor, even though it's not really, What was the question again? I even forgot the question.
Have you ever done a character on stage?
No. Yeah. So like, I there you go. Done. I did one character once on a show that we filmed, and my buddies really liked it, but it was, I couldn't. It's hard for me to not be me. It's a weird idea. I can do like act outs and voices when I'm performing. That's okay, but I always have to be the person up there in some form.
Sure.
I can't do the Robin Williams thing where you can channel like 7 people in 40 seconds. That's,
sure.
I don't think many people can.
No.
Like you are
Some of that's drugs, I'm sure.
Yeah, some of it's Bolivian marching powder. You know, it's I don't know.
So have you ever won a comedy contest or anything like that?
Got to the finals a bunch of times, but never won. But also, like we used to have a show called like Beat the Camel, which was kind of like Beat the Gong, like Gong Show basically. And my buddy and I who produced it, we wanted to get in the contest, but we both agreed that because we produce it, we shouldn't win. It doesn't matter what the situation is, even if we're having a good night, we shouldn't win. So we would get to the final round, but then both of us would drop out because our goal is to get someone else to win.
Sure.
You know, but contests are tough because you have what, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, something like that. You know, like the Kill Tony 1 minute thing is amazing to me because when I do my set, I tell stories with jokes attached. Right. That doesn't fit well into a minute. Right. And I'm not really rude or crude for the most part, which also doesn't fit well into a minute because people, you know, for shorter things, people like that stuff. Yeah. No, I've never won a contest, brother. Right. Yeah. Have you?
No, not yet.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I'll still try. You know.
So what's your like best booking story? Either you were booked on a show or you got to book someone. You're like, oh wow, cool.
Oh shit, that's a good question. Yeah, okay, a couple. Unexpected ones. So we're in Abu Dhabi and we're doing a show at PJ O'Reilly's, which is the back of the Meridian Hotel. That doesn't matter to comedy or worse. But what matters is a friend of ours came to me and she's like, we're getting married and we have a comedian who we requested him to do a show and he's gonna fly in. Can he take over your show? Okay, who is it? It's Ahmed. And I'm like, sure, that's cool. Because Ahmed, he was the original Axis of Evil, one of the bad Muslims on tour. But he's the sweetest guy. And if you look, he's totally giving big ups and props and promoting young talent. So he was great. Like he came and he headlined our show and he was the coolest guy. Like before the show when everything, I'm producing and we're packed and I'm just frazzled and we want the wedding, it's a wedding component of the show. We want that to go well. And he just sits and we have whiskey, just sipping on whiskey for about 20 minutes before the show, and he's like, "You've done everything you can. It's gonna go well." Yeah. You know, so that was cool. My friend Simeon Goodson, we promoted him a lot, and he just killed at our rooftop show. But probably the most unexpected one was the comedian Yakov Smirnoff. If you know who he is, what a country! You know, he was big in the 90s, and he's a great guy. Yeah. He was in town. And he wasn't even in town, he was in Dubai. So somebody sends him to me, and I'm like, yeah, but I'm in Abu Dhabi, and you know that from Dubai to Abu Dhabi, it's far, sir. He's like, don't worry, I get there. So he gets there, and he comes early. Like, this is a guy who headlines and had his own theater in Branson for years. Right. Comes early, hangs out with the comedians in our little comedians bullpen. Doesn't drink. He's a straight-laced guy, but he's making jokes. He's just a personable guy. And then we want him to headline. We're like, okay, you're here, so headline. He's like, no, give me a number. I don't even give you a number. We want you to add, like, I thought he was so I said 3. He says, okay, I'll go third. I'm like, you're Yakov Smirnoff and we're not. You should be. I've seen your act. It's clean. It's funny. It's smarter than people realize. You should be headlining, dude. He's like, no, because if I go early, then I can sit and watch you guys. And so that's what happened. You know, yeah. I mean, I think, man, artists, if they're like real artists, are really gracious people.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the hard thing is that at the mics, everyone's kind of in some form, everyone's kind of trying to establish themselves. So that struggle comes out in different ways. But
right, yeah.
Once, it's not mean, it's not malicious. Like when I went overtime at one of your shows, and you're like, you didn't say that. Like, I know you're not being mean or malicious. It's just because I fucked up. and you're trying to get 27 other people on the show.
Yeah, I think it was like earlier too. Right?
Yeah, and I was like the 3rd or 4th person. And I felt awful from being.
We can't have this happen.
Yeah, exactly. That's enough. You know,
the end of the show.
Yeah.
Fine.
Exactly. So like I get it. But I think for the most part, like if you're an artist, like people are amazingly kind and welcoming. And I don't know, maybe that's a misguided thing to think. But for the most part, no, in my experience, people are like that. Yeah.
Cool. So, what is the worst thing about comedy right now? It's just on the list.
It's on a list? Are you serious? The worst thing about comedy is not comedy or worse. No. The worst thing? God,
You could make something up and no one would know.
Yeah, I could. I can just say some shit. Like, the idea of being... Like, I understand woke comedy and it has its place, but the idea of being woke to get clapter, but to have no actual joke there. Like, you can be woke, and that's cool, but remember, you're up there to tell jokes. You're not up there to preach.
Right.
You're right. And I leave the preaching for preachers. that's why their name is preacher. Their job is to preach. But our job is to make people laugh, right?
Well, I mean, you know, you can use comedy to help change the world, make it a better place.
Yeah. So you got comedians. Some of them are good at branding. All right. Some are good at branding, and then they do some comedy. And some of them are woke, and they want to evangelize. They want to tell you how it is, and they sneak that in the comedy. But like the reason I like comedy isn't for those two things, which is
sure.
I
mean, comedy is subjective, right? So you don't.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Or watch that.
And then
I mean, a lot of like take writing. A lot of like sci-fi and fantasy. Mm-hmm. Has all these political undertones and it's commenting on society, but you know it's abstracting it enough to where people that are on the the other side of what's being commented on will go, oh, this is great. Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, you don't realize that we're talking
the
about
subtext here is about you, like Fahrenheit 451. Yeah, like. What do you mean they're burning books? Yeah, they're burning books. And you look around you, you can see that everywhere. I think it's hard because having worked in a place where they were very, very careful about what kind of jokes were told for a long time, that's still with me. I still have those constraints on me in some ways, even though I'm here. The one thing I can say is if you can get away with a lot if you do make it subjective. If you run that joke through your specific voice, you can sneak in the same subtext, the same message beneath it, but now it's just a joke and it happened to you. Right. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
that's good advice.
And that's a cool question. I wasn't expecting that one. Like, it's hard because everything makes me laugh. You've seen me at shows. If shit's funny, I'm gonna laugh. Even if it's really far away from like the experiences of a middle-aged white guy, which is my life. Yeah. If it's shit, I won't. but then maybe if I can think of a way to make it better, assuming the person looks like they're open to me making a comment, I might make a comment.
Yeah.
But I got to be careful with that too, because art is someone's baby. So you don't want to offend anyone by making a comment that they're like, and to them, I mean nothing to people in San Diego. They don't know who I am, so it's like, who the hell's that guy to say anything?
Right.
No, I don't want to offend anybody.
Sure. So what town do you live in right now?
I'd be beautiful Chula Vista. I'll probably I might have to move. We'll see.
Okay.
My rent.
I thought you were living like more in North County or something.
No. I live here. But my rent is going up faster than my paycheck is.
Oh, no.
Because inflation is real, or maybe it's inflation. Maybe I'm not sure what it is, but.
Oh, there's a lot of greedy corporations out there.
It's hard because I tried to say this subtly to my landlord, who's a really good guy, and I tried to say it to my employer, who they employ me, so I appreciate that. And in both cases, I'm like, the rent is going up faster than my paycheck, and I'm doing all I can, so I might have to move. If you have a good cheap place downtown, let me know.
No, unfortunately.
No, where? Are there any cheap places in San Diego? Comedy or Worse wants to know. Please send your. Yeah. So what are you doing for a job right now? I'm a teacher by day, and I help to run the academic side of a program at a private high school.
Okay. Cool.
So my days are full on. And sometimes it goes into the night as well. The good thing is there's a lot of comedy that happens every day. And you've seen some of the stuff I do. If you can remember some of the stories that I tell on stage, some of the jokes. A few details are changed, but in some cases I don't have to change many. All I got to do is tell the story, and people, like at Jazzy Wishbone, a couple of people came up to me after, like, dude, we really like watching you because you're telling like these funny stories about teaching. And I'm like, they're not stories. Like I arrange it in a way so it is a story, but all this really happened, So it's cool because I have teachers that come to the show and they're hunting for me, like, and that feels good. Yeah. If they leave their house, and one reason they leave their house is to see this face, which is I'm not sure that's a good reason to leave your house, but I like that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else you want to talk about?
That's a good question. I don't know. I think that's pretty cool. I mean, I've been lucky. I've had a chance to do, comedy later in life. I've had a chance to do it here and overseas. I've had a chance to produce shows and meet people who I admired from afar. Yeah. And then you meet a lot of good people doing comedy. It keeps you, at minimum, keeps you involved in life because you got to pay attention, to make jokes. But at maximum, you have good moments pretty much every day at some point. Yeah. If you go outside. Cool. You've been doing comedy for 20 years? No? Did you stop?
No, I didn't start.
When did you start?
A little over 5 years ago.
Okay. Yeah. And you started doing like Madhouse and ACC and this?
Yeah, I was doing Madhouse when it was 7 nights a week.
Yeah, what happened? And it didn't work out?
As far as doing the open mics here? Or
yeah, because when I first came, excuse me, sorry, that burp is sponsored by Sprouts Coconut Water. Somebody brought me to the back room here, so I did a couple sets here, and then I came back like maybe 6 months later, and then it was closed. So
right, yeah, we're trying to get it back. Just not easy right now.
Yeah.
Hopefully it will come back soon. I have no idea.
Yeah, I know. I feel like I'm not trying to put you on the spot. This is.
Maybe as you're listening to this, it already is back. Who knows?
Yes. Hopefully, as you're listening to this, it's already back.
Yeah. So is that where we met? Is here in the break room?
Originally here, yeah.
Okay.
Like, I guess I got questions for you a little bit.
Sure.
So, like, because you see way more comedians than I do. Like, who are the comedians in San Diego that make you laugh? There are tons.
There's so many. There's sometimes where it's like you laugh and you go, wait, I've heard that joke before, but they just told it. I forgot about it and they told it in a good way.
Yeah.
You just laugh at it again. You know, it's interesting too, though, to watch people's process of like, oh yeah, they added that piece to that joke, and then sometimes you'll talk to them. You're like, oh no, I've had that. I just don't always say it that way.
Yeah, maybe they don't tag it, and then the next time they do.
Right, or there's like a shorter or a longer version.
Yeah, well, they can shoot in and shoot out at different points of the joke. Because it's hard. Because like for a while in Abu Dhabi, my buddy and I we ran comedy classes to try to get people in Abu Dhabi into comedy. So like the structures, I think, are in my head now more or less, but that's math. It's the math of comedy. It's not actual comedy itself.
Yeah.
You still have to go up there and like make it alive and make it work. And the structures are limited as far as that goes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so cool. Okay. Yeah, I mean, thank you. I appreciate this, man.
You're welcome. So what's the best way for people to get a hold of you?
Go to Instagram and it's Viking. What is it? I got Viking Style Live. I can't remember what it is. VIKING STYLELIVE. I hope I can spell. And also EA Comedy SD, so that we have comedy shows in North Park at El Cid, and we might have a few others. We'll see. But we want to fit ours into like so that, say, on whatever night of the week, comics can come out and do 2 or 3 different mics. So we're trying to fit ours in around other people's.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because that's one thing I couldn't do in Abu Dhabi. And Dubai was really hard because Dubai is all stretched out.
Sure.
Like I went to New York and I did comedy for like a week to prep because I was opening for my buddy Sim, who's now a regular at the Cellar. So I did comedy for a week straight, and I could do 3-4 shows a night. And I realized how valuable that was.
Yeah.
Even if you fuck up every single one. So I figure if we can help arrange that in San Diego. So comics on a Monday or Tuesday, and normally they wouldn't get out. They can go out and do 2 or 3 sets.
Right.
That's going to be really useful. So we're trying to position our shows in that way.
Absolutely, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm a nerd, so I think about this stuff.
Yeah.
Thanks, Aaron, man. That's cool.
You're welcome. All right. So let's. Well, I guess it doesn't matter so much now.
What's it? You want to turn it?
Let's just stop. Okay. Say bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.